Happy homebrew weekend. That shook my garage roller door. Sunday, the 21st of September, 4:44 p.m. I wasn't going to drink today. Wasn't going to have any alcohol until next week, actually. But what I did today was I looked after my children for 10 hours straight on my own, which normally doesn't bother me, but it did today. Because they overdosed on the arsehole tablets at breakfast, it seems. And made it rather difficult to survive. Now, in Poland, they have a name for little children, and it's they call them Gówniaki, right? Which loosely translates to shitlings. And I think the Poles have got it right on that one. And I am one, by the way. But I've got the little shits, but Gówniaki sounds a lot better. Cheers for, Sunday afternoons. I love doing that to the glass and watching. That is just thumping. That is an Arctic storm of bubbles if I've ever seen. Now, there is one thing I can do today. Because I was like, I'm going to have a beer. I've got some stuff up on the table. I'm getting ready to... There's going to be my mash tun. My recirc mash tun. Got a little fresh wet kitty ready to go. That was supposed to be for Andrew, the Jack Simpson, but I think I've punctured the bottom. So I may have to buy him another one or just tell him I'm very, very sorry. Very, very sorry. Yeah, I was just... The other thing is George has just come home and taken the kids. I'm on my own. So I was like... I could sit in the quiet. Or I can have a beer, and I shouldn't have a beer. But if I have a beer, let's make a reason to have a beer, and we'll do a homebrew weekend. Because this is what I bought. This is my Kegland Digiboil, whatever it is. I'm going to use this. So let's unbox it. I'm planning on using this as like a HLT. And I'm told you can almost like brew in a bag with this thing, right? But if you do that with this, like I don't like that because when I like the way I brew with all grain, I like to do a full set of first wet runnings, and then I like to batch sparge into an empty. Like after we like run the first wet through to the kettle, I like to then do a full batch sparge with the remaining liquid, and I like to do the batch sparge to get a pre-boil volume, right? Because with my old setup, I used to know if I'd got about 32 litres pre-boil, it'd get me to the 25 litres FV, which would leave me with roughly the 20 litres keg, right? Post FV. And the way I'd calculate the sparge, I'd have like a keg with 70-degree water liquor ready to go, had like 20 litres in there, and I would only use whatever I needed in the batch sparge to top up the kettle once I found out how much liquor we lost during the first mash, right? And then I'd use the rest of the warm water that I was going to use for the sparge, whatever I didn't need to use, I would use to clean, right? It was a little system I had going. It was really good. But anyway, so if you do this with the using the Digiboil as an all-in-one, then you've got to like kind of lift the grain out with a BRB and then just kind of like pour hot water over. And like, I don't think you'll do much in like, don't get what that does in sparge if you're not kind of re-soaking again. Because I do like a roughly, I recall doing a 15-minute sparge, right? 15-minute batch sparge to get the remainder of the sugars. I'm going to put this down because it's very obtrusive. To get the remainder of the sugars off of out of the G range, you know. All right, let's pull apart what we're getting from this kit. All right, fuck you. I've got my little bottle opener. Let's get that going. Yeah. Fuck, this is good. It's like 2 sips. Oh. In gallons, in litres, in yards, and in metres. So they've got gallons and litres as like measurements here. I like that actually. I'm trying to be a little bit careful with the kinfee here because I don't want to scratch my new Daiji boil. There we go. Here we go. Can you see that? There it is. The Key Gland Daiji boil. I thought I had an IEC lead for some reason. Oh, there you go. Doesn't. Now, here we go. So we got, let's just run through it. That's going to be annoying, isn't it? We've got an on-off switch on the side just to actually turn it on and off. I'm not going to turn anything on or off at the moment because I've got no water in here and I don't want to fuck the elements. We've got a 500 watt element, a 1900 watt element, and then you can do both, right? That's 2400 watts, there's your 10 amps. Your DigiBoil over here, you can set the temperature. I think everything is at the bottom here, the elements, everything is in this base. So there you go, there. I hope you can see that. That's what you can see in the actual kettle itself. Shiny. A glass lid? It seems like a bad idea. Why would you not have a stainless lid with this instead of a glass lid? I feel like a glass lid would smash. And I'm not a fancy big city lawyer, but I'll sue you if you get smashed glass in my beer. Yeah, it seems like a fucking bad idea. Why would you do that? Why on earth would you put glass as the lid? If you have the answer to that, and I'm being ridiculous for some reason, please let me know. But I actually can't. That seems not right to me. Or maybe they want you to do it from the other side. That might be why they had it like that, Christoph. I can see that. I can see that being a reason. No, I think a glass lid's a horrible idea. Can you even clip it down? Like that? Sorry, I am here and present. I'm just putting this this rinky dink on. There we go. So I have organised. What is it right now? The 21st of September, the 5th of October. Me and my buddies are doing an all grain brew, right? This looks dumb. Oh, there's a lock nut, I guess. We're doing an all grain brew. I'm going to brew a steamer. I'm not sure if I've told you. I'm pretty excited. So I'm trying to get somewhat organised prior to the day. Do I want to clip that? I don't want to clip that. I don't want to clip that at all. I'm going to have to do some reading to see if you can clip the clip the glass lid. But that seems like a bad idea to me. Again, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I'm not fucking wrong very often. So we got our little schmabooty over here. That's a nice little ball valve. I like that a lot. Now, one thing I have read about this, and I confirmed it with John the Baptiste, my lovely friend down at the local homebrew shop. We go to a small local guy. We don't use one of the big boys. He's lovely and he's ever present and full of great advice. He did say that one little caveat is that because of the positioning, of this tap here, there have been issues with having to. So you have to then tip the kettle ever so slightly to get the last little bit of work out. Now, not a big problem for me because I always brew a little bit more than I need. I'm not brewing to hit specific marks normally. Like I do want to come within fucking QE of what I'm going for, but I don't normally brew to be like, oh, I've got to make a 1054 bit. No, I've got to make roughly 30 litres into my kettle so I can have roughly 25 going into one of these mothers, so I can have roughly 20 litres going into one of those mothers, all right, at the very, very end. So, and I don't mean to be offensive to those of you who do brew, or for you who does brew to a particular number, but who cares? We're homebrewers. That's it. This is the Daiji boil. If you do want to purchase and have a play, the idea for me, I'm going to use this as a HLT. I don't need to get anything else in. I just plug this in, set it to 70 degrees C, 25 litres. Foundation water goes in, grain goes in, pump, recirc through my 20 litre pot, coil, back over the top. Vorlafs holds temp. When that's done, bagurks it into another one of these, which I haven't purchased yet, but I'll probably get, just because they're as cheap as a pot. As cheap as. And then I'll use that to boil, except this time I'll run a separate lead, so I've got it on its own circuit, pull the full 10 amps, boil away. Robert's your father's brother. We'll see how this all goes. I'm really looking forward to the first all grain with a new kit. I've done a couple of brew in the bags on the stove. It's a fucking nightmare. I've done a couple of small batches on the fucking stove. It's a fucking nightmare. You need to be out in a shed or a garage or a carport or somewhere else. You can't be taking up stove space in the house. One, it boils too slow. One, it cooks too slow, makes a big mess. I'm looking forward to getting back into my space, doing my brewing, where I can just spray everything with water. So, look, cool little kit. We'll see how it performs. The handles look really sturdy. The clips look really strong, to the point where I'm concerned about having a glass lid. I'll see if I can upgrade that to a stainless lid, because I would like to, obviously, I don't know why you would need to hold that down, but I might do something like that just because I've got the kids around. I don't want them fucking about with hot water. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to go so the kids can't get there. There is no need for me, and that would just be on to let it heat up faster. But when we're boiling, I want that lid on to get the temp up. No, you don't want the lid on. You don't. You want it open. I don't need that lid. I don't need it. It's only because of my children. I don't need to worry about upgrading to a stainless lid. At all. But cool kit. Like that it comes with a ball valve. I've got to tighten that up before brew day. Please remind me, because I've just hand tightened that. That's actually really, really nice. Normally when you get a brand new ball valve, it's pretty fucking tight. That is, doesn't feel loose, but it doesn't feel tight. Cabling looks good. I kind of want to pull it apart to see how they've done everything in there, but I am an electrician, so I'm kind of allowed, but I'm not going to do that because I can't be bothered also. All right, quick one for today so I can go sit down in peace and quiet for as long as possible. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for the quick beer. I needed that one quite a fair bit. Thank you for unboxing the Daiji boil with me. Again, hopefully on what I'm explaining, I plan to do with it makes sense. And maybe I'm overlooking something seriously easy. Like, why are you doing all this with this, just use this. So, tell me. Let me know what I'm doing because I kind of have the blinkers on. I am just rebuilding my old kit. Without gas. And it looks like it might be a lot better. Like I might be able to do some stuff with this that I haven't previously done. Do you know what I mean? Please tell me, please. All right. Shut your eyes. You didn't see this. I'm going to see you on the next one, all right? Be good to your mothers, except for mine.